All right, aloha friends. It's game time with the Goss. I'm your host, Brian Gossett. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying your week. Today's guest is Meagan White. She two-time state champ, Crowley High School. She went and played, did great things at the University of Texas, and now she's got a book out called Fight Like Coach White, which is available on Amazon.com, ebook and paperback. Also, coach, trainer, softball extraordinaire.
Mhm.
Thanks for taking some time to join me, Meagan.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So the book, Fight Like Coach White, is about your husband, Cliff White, who
Yeah.
battled cancer during the 2022 season. He was a football coach at Midlothian High School. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet him, but seeing your posts and what people say just seemed like a great guy. Um, but yeah, just kind of talk about the book and what's it about.
Yeah. Actually, so I started writing this book a few years ago, just about my own journey, my own quest to winning a gold medal, actually, and just all of the complexities that come with trying to achieve a dream that extraordinary. And just everything in between all the storms that I had to charge myself and all of the hard lessons that I had to learn. And just all the ups and downs that come with being a student athlete in middle school, high school, and collegiate. Um, and so on that quest, I actually was not was not led to a gold medal, unfortunately, which my heart was broken. My heart was shattered over that. But over time, it was put back together. And really, the quest actually led me to my husband. Everything about meeting my husband was definitely forged by God himself. It was just meant to be for him and I to be together. And a huge part of that was from softball and our ties to softball. He was an umpire. That's how I met him. And so then we went on a date literally the next day, and that is all she wrote. We knew we were meant to be together. We wanted to go get married right after dinner at Red Lobster, you know. But we knew that we had to wait to get married. We knew that we both had big shoes to fill and big purposes to accomplish, and we needed to work together in order to build a life together and build, a relationship that was based on, loyalty and trust and true love. And because we respected ourselves and our relationship enough to make sure that we did that, and that's what we based our relationship off of. And we had to date long distance through college. We would meet once a week in Waco, which was halfway for us, just to date, go to dinner, go to the movies, go shopping, just be together. Sometimes he would get off work at Blockbuster at 12 and have to drive to Austin 2 hours just to be with me and be with me over the weekend, and really just support each other and get each other through college and help each other accomplish our goals and our dreams. And that was how I met him. And not only after I met him and after college, we got married. We started to build our foundation and build our life, and we were both coaches, and we both, with both of us having that lifestyle in that profession, we really fed off of each other and really helped each other become the best coaches we could be. We both really had a passion for kids and had a love for the games, and really want both of us really wanted people like kids, parents, other coaches to see that, sports is just the platform, right? It's just the platform, and winning and losing goes so much farther beyond the scoreboard, right? And we really wanted to be a beacon of inspiration and hope for these kids that, by using this platform of sports, you can really discover the most amazing, incredible parts of your own self, right? And you can expose the best parts of yourself and really teach these kids how to become professional humans, right? Not professional players, right? But with the platform of sport come professional humans and be the best that they can be, because you're not going to play forever. You're not going to play forever. There's something that's going to go beyond. And what we go through on a field or on a court or, on a course, in a pool, on a track, like all the complexities that come with being a student athlete, right, is going to equip you and prepare you for something else that is planned in your life. And that's exactly what softball did for me. It wasn't to win a gold medal, right? All of that was to build the woman that I was supposed to be for Cliff White. I was supposed to be the wife that he needed so that he could be the man that God had meant for him to be, right? And the story is beautiful. The story is just absolutely incredible. It's inspiring. It is soul lifting for athletes. It is soul lifting for coaches, for parents of athletes, for anyone who is struggling through cancer, or somebody who is taking care of, right, is the caregiver of somebody with cancer. And just not only that, but just a beacon of hope on how to fight the good fight through any storm that stands in front of us on this side of heaven and in life. And that we actually can do things, all things, right? We can do all things with the power of Christ inside of us, and we can do all things that for people that we love, right? Like my husband was on oxygen, cancer filled both of his lungs. He couldn't even breathe, and is out there coaching his kids. Why? He loves them. He loves his kids. He loves football and what it can offer a person, right? He believes in it with all of his heart. He loved me and and our children. And that was his way as a man to provide for us. It was just something he loved more than anything on the earth. And he gave it everything he had, even with no oxygen, even had to go down to riding in a scooter because he lost the ability to walk 2 steps without getting out of breath. You know, that just shows you the power of Christ inside of us, right? It shows you the power of love that not only that he has for us, but that we have for others, the way we're supposed to. And that's my husband's message. The last time he spoke to his players, he said, do what you're supposed to do, have fun doing it, and we'll all party in the end. Oh, how powerful is that? Like, that's so powerful. And he was just the epitome of that. And that is what my book is. That's what my book is. It's our story for God's glory. And I know that anyone and everyone can somehow relate to this book and relate to our story. And it can absolutely be a soul lifter and a life giver to your own life and to your own athletic journey, your own coaching journey, your journey through cancer, your journey through any storm that life offers.
That is awesome. And I'll be sure to get myself a copy of that book. Again, he was an assistant coach with Midlothian, also helped coach softball too. So you guys didn't get married on the diamond?
No, no, we got married in God's house in a church that I grew up in and that I was baptized in over in Fort Worth.
Now, when you say he was an umpire, that's how you met. Did he had umpire a game of yours?
No, he
Okay.
was a rec. He was a rec ball umpire. I was actually asked to speak, to be the keynote speaker at a nationals, a rec ball pony nationals in Burleson. And after my speech, I got introduced to Cliff by the tournament director, who actually has known both of us since we were little, since we were babies. We've been family friends with him for so long, and so is his family. And he thought we'd be a good match, so he introduced us.
It's funny because you know the pitcher you were and he's an umpire. Usually those two don't get along at times, depending on what the strike
No.
zone is.
No, that is true. That is true. You know what's funny is with him being such a big sports guy, he had no idea who I was. He didn't know who I was. But when he got home that night, he told his dad who he was going on a date with the next day. And he's like, no way. You're going on a date with Meagan Denny, the pitcher for the Texas Longhorns? He was like, how do you know who she is, but I don't?
That's
It was
awesome.
kind of funny.
Again, Fight Like Coach White's the book, available on Amazon.com. Mentioned you won back-to-back state titles with Crowley High School, 2003, 2004. You're a state champ MVP both years. Just what do you remember about those 2 years and those two teams?
Oh, just how incredible it was. And just when I was writing this book and I was going back and looking at newspaper clippings, thank gosh, my grandmother kept a scrapbook of everything in high school. So I really used a lot of that to go back and kind of refresh my memory on just like the little details. And then, you know, mixed with what I do remember in my memories. And gosh, just the some miracles actually that were being worked on a softball field, you know, and just feel just going back and feeling that sense of pride for my school and for my team, and just really building a true passion and love for team and what a team can actually do for a human and for their soul. And it just goes to show you, like, we're not meant to do this life alone, right? Community is everything. And the teams that I was so privileged to be a part of in those 2 years. Actually, you know what? All 4 years of my high school career, we just had some good girls, you know, really good girls from good families. We all grew up together, playing softball together since we were little tots, you know, and just growing up together, going through all of the hard times of, you know, middle school and high school life together, and accomplishing something that only 1% of the world gets to accomplish. It's just incredible. It's absolutely just miraculous, really. And just, gosh, just all the gratitude that I have for just for those wonderful times of just total grit, you know, total grit, and just overcoming all the obstacles that it takes to do something as great as winning a state championship. You know, it's just, I keep saying this, but it's a life-giving, you know. It just makes you feel so large, you know, just so large. And man, I'm thankful for those times. It's good times.
Awesome. Talking with Meagan White. I know back then it was really a pitcher's dominant game with the circle being shorter, but do you remember like the most innings in a game you've pitched or the most strikeouts? I know you're still in a couple of categories in the UIL state program. I can't remember, but for strikeouts, but like what's the most innings you've pitched in a game?
I remember pitching 14 innings in one game. I did that twice, actually. The first time was against Stephenville, and I had 29 strikeouts in that game. And the second time was against Brewer High School. It was my junior, senior year. I don't remember which year it was, but yeah, we went 14 innings, and me and Brittany Turner just back to back to back to back. I think we both of us had 28, 29 strikeouts together. So what is that? I don't even know. I can do the math on my head, but total
Yeah,
strikeouts in that game was just insane.
yeah, almost 60. It must have been like 1-0.
It was 1-0.
Yeah,
It was 1-0, and we actually lost in ITB on an error.
remember.
It still hurts my stomach to talk about it. If you go read the book, I tell you every detail of that game, and I really put you in my head and in my perspective. And it's an emotional roller coaster for sure. You're up and down, up and down during that game, but yeah, it's pretty awesome read there.
When you were pitching, by the time your senior year, you were already committed and signed to UT?
Actually, I waited till the last minute to commit. I did. I waited to the very last minute. I'm sure I frustrated a lot of people. Sorry. But no, I just wanted to, it's a big decision. It's a
Right.
very, very big decision. And I wanted to make sure that it was very clear on where I was meant to play ball. And I made sure I did as make sure I went on the visits that I was supposed to go on. And we had home visits with the coaches. And I really was spent a lot of time in prayer over it. And I talked to a lot of different ones of my mentors, my coaches, my influencers, and ultimately just really wanted to make that decision on not just my head, but my heart at the same time, you know, like I wanted it to be right. So I waited to the last minute.
Now, did you wait after? Was it after that 2004 game, or was it?
No. I did commit before the 2004 season. It was the fall. It was
Okay.
fall when I committed.
But I mean, that were the state games still at UT back
They
then?
were. Yes.
So what was
Yes.
that like going in? Here you are pitching, trying to defend your title, and now you're pitching on, your future home. I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit of nerves.
No nerves. Like you would think, right? You would think there would be nerves. But no, I write about this in my book too, this very moment where I'm in the bullpen warming up for the state game. And across the street, if you haven't been to UT, the softball and baseball fields are literally right across the street from each other. And well, there was a baseball game, a UT baseball game going on the same time as our game. And I was in the bullpen. It was silent. It was between pitches, and I hear the Eyes of Texas playing so loud over the baseball stadium. And I just stop. I just stop for a second and I just soak that moment in. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like it's almost like, is this real? Like I'm gonna be here next year. The place where I'm gonna finish my high school career, I will start my college career all right here in this one moment. Just wow, just eruption
Yeah.
of emotions and gratitude and just surreal, just very surreal moment. Just made me. I just took it as a sign. Honestly, I took it as a sign. Like you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all
Yeah.
right. It's gonna be okay. And whenever you say defend our title, it was never about that for our team that year. It was never about that. We're like, look, we won 2003 title. This is the 2004 title. This is up for grabs for anyone. We're not defending our 2004 title. No one's won it yet, right? So we gotta we knew that could not be our mentality or a perspective. Like we had to go in thinking this is up for grabs for anybody. We can't defend anything. We have to be on the attack and go and get this. So we were filled with fire.
Yeah, I'm sure with that song coming on, you have to remember that you're still in high school because you probably thought, wait, am I playing for Texas right now with the song going on? I'm in the bullpen. Um, what was harder? Which title was harder to win? 03 or 04?
2004. 2004, without a doubt. Without a doubt, because the whole season there was a big old target on our backs, right? And everyone was on their A game when they played us. They were no nonsense. They were just almost, honestly, almost just savage like, just swinging at everything I had to offer and just being relentless in the box and being relentless on the bases and on defense. Like people really stepped up their game when they played us all season long, especially Brewer, especially Brewer. No, I'm not going to say enemies, but just rivals. I was
Yeah.
best friends with Brittany Turner. Her and I went to the same pitching coach. And her and I pushed each other every single week at pitching lessons and, made each other so much better. And, no, I wouldn't change a thing. I know we lost. I know we lost to Brewer that year, but honestly, I wouldn't change
But
a
you
thing
came out
about
on
that year.
top. You got the ring, so you got the
We
last
did.
laugh.
We did.
Did you hit as well?
No. Oh no. Oh, there's probably so many people laughing right now. No, I was a PO. I guess when I was about 12 or 13, that's when I stopped hitting. I stopped hitting completely. I was the only pitcher on my select team. So if I went down, we were in
Yeah.
trouble. So we had to
Which I thought,
eliminate.
which I would think that's back in those days, the high school team, same way, same concept. Only, you had one real dominant pitcher. If they went down, you guys were in trouble.
Yeah, you're kind of done for. So there were occasions where I did have to step in the box and I had to take care of some business. For the most part, I did not. But there were some occasions where I did come up with some clutch hits. Actually, in the state championship in 2000, I think it was 2004, my senior year, I got two doubles.
Two doubles. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
I was pretty proud of that.
I mean, could see like the batter's view because obviously you dominated from the circle, and those days it was pitcher dominant, and then to be in the box facing some of those pitchers, you could see like, okay, it's hard to hit.
Yes, yes, you could absolutely kind of get an eye for which pitches would be the hardest for a hitter to hit for sure. Yeah. No, I mean if you're a pitcher out there, I do highly recommend that you hit, right? Because you will get into the mindset of a hitter and can know better how to get them out.
Um, so back in those days, I can only remember a few, but just some of the dominant pitchers in the area who are now coaches. I can remember Christina Gwynn was '03. I can remember probably Kristen Shortridge
Oh, yeah.
in those days. And then
Brittany
'04,
Barnfield.
yeah, '04, I guess Barnhill was maybe a freshman, but went on to win Gatorade Player of the Year in '07. But yeah, just, what do you remember about some of those ladies?
Some of those ladies that I seriously, honestly, just me trying to one up them and be better than them made me better, and I have to give shout outs right now, of course, to Brittany Turner. Brittany Turner went on to play at Baylor, and she was from Brewer. I have to give a shout out to Lindsey Russell. Lindsey Russell was the North Richland Hills pitcher that we beat. We had to get past them. This was just the second round. This was the second round. They had just in 2002, they had went to the state tournament. They were the runner-ups. So we were playing them in round two, my junior year. And her and I had to grit and grind through that game. Neither one of our teams were backing down. The crowd was insane. Over 1,000 people at Mansfield Softball Stadium. It was unbelievable. It was so loud. It was so crazy. And it was just a very high intensity game. And her and I, we grit, we grinded, we persevered for our teams. And I write about this in the book too. This very moment, just after that game, as soon as I was done celebrating our win, I just immediately like looked over at Lindsay and I'm like, I have to hug this girl. I have to. Like, her and I just walked through the pits of hell, and I almost just hate this for her. I'm excited about me and my team, but I want to hug this girl. I saw that she was at the end of the line at the end of the game, and so I got myself at the end just to make sure I could definitely show her just a sign of immense respect that I had for her, and just her gift to the game, you know. So yeah, got to give a shout out to her. Oh my gosh, I know I'm missing some. I know
Oh
I'm
yeah,
missing.
there's a lot of great ones, but
Oh, there's so many great ones. Nicole Nichols from Coppell. She went on to play at OU. Incredible pitcher. Seriously, just trying to keep up with her and break her records made me. It just what contributed to making me who I was. She
yeah,
was phenomenal. She's absolutely phenomenal. I know I'm missing some.
I just, there's still great pictures, but when you were playing, I know you guys are in different classes, but I just couldn't imagine, first round you're playing Meagan White, second round you're playing Brittany Barnhill, third, it's like you get no breaks at all during this playoff.
No.
Um, Help me out here because I always get this wrong. But when did they switch, or when did they move back the circle?
Um, okay, so senior year was 2004. I think it was just a few short years after that they moved it back.
I mean,
That they
when
moved
you
it
were
back.
at UT, they
Yes, yes. So when I was in my freshman year, I had to get used to moving back to
okay.
43 feet.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it had already moved back in college.
what was that process like? I mean, um, I don't know how they even vote on that. I mean, what were your thoughts about it being moved back?
Obviously, I was a little upset about it because I threw 72 miles an hour. So that 3 feet gave them a couple extra seconds to see my ball. So, um,
Did they do that because they wanted maybe a more offensive style?
100%. 100%. They had to do something because every most games I felt like did go into extra innings or were just won by one
1-0.
run, one
Yeah.
or two runs. So yeah, just to make the game a little bit more fair, a little bit more exciting, let's add some offense and look what that's done for the sport. I mean, really, it really has. It's look at the ratings, that softball has nowadays. I think Jessica Mendoza said one time in an interview that one year there were more viewers of the Women's College World Series than there were the Men's College World Series. That's huge. That is so huge. So as much as I don't like it as a pitcher, it was the right thing to do for the sport. It really was.
I mean, how just talk about adjusting to it, and I mean, I'm sure you still kind of dominated some games.
Yeah, no, there definitely took some adjusting. It really did. And I really had to learn how to spin the ball a little bit tighter, a little bit more without pulling back on my speed, how to figure out how to keep my speed, but add more spin to my ball. So that took, I would say, the entire fall semester when I first got to UT. It was a struggle. It was a struggle for sure. But yeah, it's something that you get acclimated to and you figure it out.
Now, were like your first couple of throws from 43, were they coming, were they short hopping the plate because you're sort of used to 40?
Oh, I don't remember it being that bad. I do remember though that I would miss a little bit wider in the strike zone. And as a pitcher, you can't miss wide, so you got to miss pretty narrow if you're going to miss. And I know I just kind of noticed that I was just missing just too wide on a lot of my pitches, which is it's so frustrating because it's easier to move, this much as it is that much, with how you're trying to make the ball move around the zone. So it was a little frustrating, but Connie Clark was an amazing pitching coach. She really kept my head on straight. She kept me centered and kept my focus where it needed to be. And it kind of eliminated a little bit of that frustration for me.
Again, talking with Meagan White, you mentioned sort of playing Brewer and sort of that rivalry, and you can even expand this to UT. But was there a school or player that always got the better of you and you hated facing,
In college?
or with Crowley?
Okay. There wasn't really a hitter per se that got the best of me most of the time. In high school. Now in college,
Yeah,
I think there's several actually. There's several. I don't know if you remember Heather Scaglione from OU. I couldn't get the girl out. I couldn't get her out. Like I threw her every pitch in my arsenal and the girl figured out a way to hit it. I mean, she was a tough out. She was a really tough out. She comes to mind. Kristen Vesley from OU pops in my head right
the
now.
OU girls.
Rhea Taylor from Mizzou. Oh, she broke up one of my perfect games. Nah.
How many perfect games? College and high school. How many perfect games?
High school, off the top of my head, I don't remember, but it's in the book.
Yeah.
It is in the book. Now college was a different story. I had, oh my gosh, probably two handfuls of almost perfect games that turned into one hitters.
Okay.
A little frustrating,
I'm
a
sure at
little bit
Crowley.
frustrating.
I'm sure at Crowley you had several no hitters.
I had several. I think I had two perfect games and 10 no hitters.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, in college I had three no hitters. Yeah, and those almost perfect games, I'm telling you, there's like 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So other than the obvious with the movement of the circle back, we're talking 20 years later. Has the game changed at all?
absolutely. Oh, 100%. It has totally changed just because of the added offense that you're getting in every game. So therefore defense has changed a lot. It's had to do a lot of adjustments with all the offense that we've had. And just the high scoring games and just the different statistics nowadays. Like it's almost harder to beat some of those older records, like for pitcher strikeouts and shutouts and no hitter. Like it's harder for these kids. And the technology of the bats, and having to deal with that. I mean, we're having a ton of injuries, right? A ton of injuries, blows to the face. That's why we've got the face masks now. We didn't have those. We didn't have those when I played. Those weren't an option. And I know I've put my daughters on before, and I tried to just mess around and see if I could pitch with it on. No, mm-mm, nope.
You
That
gotta
would
get
take
used to, yeah.
it would take me a long time to get that all figured out because of my depth perception of my vision, right? With the weight on my face, that affects my equilibrium, which is going to affect the way you pitch, right? Your speed, your spin, your balance. You know what I mean? And of course, just okay. Don't judge me. But when I pitched, I couldn't even have a wispy in my face. Like everything had to be clear and just well proportioned everywhere, like for me to have that focus. So that would definitely affect their, not only, again, like I said, their visual, right, and their depth perception, the weight, right, and their balance, but just the mental part of it, the mental part of, oh, I'm trying to pitch, but my mask is sliding in the middle of my pitch. That affects your focus,
Yeah.
that affects the way you deliver a pitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot about the about the game that's changed since I played.
So when you say it wasn't an option, it just they hadn't made masks for pitchers,
They
right?
hadn't made them yet.
Yeah.
No, they were not an option. They did try to get me to wear a mouth guard in college. I couldn't do that either. It just affects the way I pitch. It just
Yeah.
messed with me mentally. Like there's a foreign object in my mouth. You know what I mean? Like
Did you
and
ever?
I want to go on record and saying, never have I ever had a ball hit back in my face
I was just
in
going to
my
ask you that
in my entire career.
because
It's never happened.
they couldn't hit it, So
Thank you. That's sweet. I
couldn't
have
hit,
been hit in my stomach and shins, but never the face.
and if they were going to hit it, it'd probably be a little blooper, nothing like a line drive.
Yeah. Actually, I lied to you. I lied. There was this
Oh,
one time. There was the one time it was hit, not like directly at my face, but like around my face, and I
okay,
did catch it. I did
okay,
catch it.
of course you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about the offense. What's funny is, you some of these game nowadays, you have the where they mercy roll like the 5 innings, and yeah, there was probably never a mercy roll when you pitched.
In high school, I don't remember if there was, but in college, yes.
Oh yeah, eight
Actually,
runs,
yes.
right?
It was 8 after 5.
8 after 5. Yeah, but
Yeah,
in
eight
at
after
Crowley, I don't think there was any 10-0 games.
I don't no, not that I remember. Not that I remember. But another thing that I think too that I would like to discuss and I'd like to kind of bring up is the illegal pitches that are being called nowadays. It's extremely, I'm not going to be nice on this. It's extremely extra and it's extremely ridiculous. They're taking the game away. Like they really are. They're taking the game away from these pitchers that, I mean, that already throw like mid 50s, like low 60s. Like, I mean, they're thinking that's going to be some big advantage. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's not, and it's ruining the momentum of the game. And it's just really, it's nonsense.
Yeah.
It's nonsense. Like yesterday, I had a girl come to session yesterday saying that she got called on 3 different illegal pitches. I'm like, let her pitch. Let her pitch. You know what I'm saying? Let the girls hit. We all got what we wanted, and that's more offense in the game. And the offense is not suffering in the game of softball. It's not at all. I really wish that this year we could just let these kids play ball, pitch the ball, hit the ball, let's play. You know what I mean? I think it's just been extra. It's just been really excessive the last couple of years, and I would really like to see us just get back to playing the game.
Right. So I mean, when you talk about illegal pitches, it's when the back foot uh, comes up off the dirt or whatever, the turf.
Mhm. Yes. So I know in high school you are allowed to step back with the back foot, and
Yeah.
that's fine. But in some select levels, you have to start with the foot off and back. You can't step back. College is the same way. You have to start back, which is awesome. It's awesome. I'm glad that they gave us something. You know what I mean?
And
To
like even
try to survive the technology of these bats nowadays, you know, and also I know one of my girls got called for stepping off of the mound, like stepping off of the pitching rubber. She's in contact with the rubber the whole time, the entire time. She slid, she's sliding, right? She's not coming out of contact. She's just sliding. That is not an illegal pitch, and she got called for it too much. And it really changes the game. it changes the game, and I really wish that they would kind of calm down a little bit on that. And I know that this year they did change the rule that you can not replant, but you can get air on your drag foot. I do know that has changed as well. Because again, it's just everyone is being called for it every other pitch in the game, and they're not even allowed to play softball anymore because we're getting that much off the ground.
And that doesn't
Come
make
on.
a difference, really.
Come on. You know what I mean? Especially when you're seeing top level pitchers on TV getting airborne, replanting, and all the things, right?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of confusing. It just gets confusing, It's like let them play.
Yeah.
Let the pitchers pitch, let the hitters hit, let's play.
Yeah, hopefully the numbers are down this year, but we'll see.
I hope so.
As we're talking about softball. The high school season, I believe, officially starts with some tournaments later this weekend. So I know we're both excited for that. I'll get you out on this, but again, you've coached, you've trained, you have lessons. Just kind of talk about doing that, and how can people kind of get a lesson from the legendary Meagan White?
Yay. Yes. So yes, I have been coaching privately on the private sector since 2012, just after I had my first child. And yeah, it's just a passion of mine. It's a passion of mine. I just want to help these kids find their way. I want to help them, like I said before, just use this to discover the best parts of themselves, right? And just use this as a platform to go beyond the sport whenever they're done playing it, and finding a way to enjoy themselves along the way. I'm actually really wanting to expand. It's a project I'm working on right now. I'm working with a consultant at the moment, but I want to expand my business beyond just softball players. I really want to help. I want to help anyone of any sport at any level, boys, girls, whoever. I want to help them mentally, emotionally, and spiritually kind of discover their identity outside of their sport, right? Like I said, use the sport as a platform, but discover who they are so that they can, yes, be the best athlete they can be, but understand that they are being equipped and prepared for something else when they're not an athlete anymore. I want to help them do that. I want to help them on their journey and all the complexities that come with being a student athlete, boy, girl, volleyball player, football player, softball player. Right now, I'm mentoring 3 football players, 1 volleyball player, and of course, all my pitchers as well. I really would love to help coaches. I want to help coaches understand, especially coaches of pitchers, right? Who are not pitching coaches, right? These are the coaches that are in charge of calling my pitchers pitches during games, but not really understanding her anatomy, and her mentality and what she needs, right, from you to thrive. I would love to start doing that. I would love to start coaching parents of athletes, because that is a huge role in an athlete's life, is the influence that their parents have and the support that their parents have, and understanding that they are their soft place to land, right? There's going to be 100 people, maybe more than that, right, on their journey that is just going to stand in line just to wait to tell them how awful they are, right? It can't be the parent, and just the parent's role for an athlete. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that so much. I cannot wait to meet with my volleyball player tonight. She's going through a lot of things with her team and with her coach, and she's just not really sure on how to attack and approach, communication with her coach, and how to live and survive, right, on this team, and figure out her role and how she can thrive at it and be the best at it. So that's what I'll be doing tonight. Super excited about it. And yeah, that's what I am have been doing, and what I'm now working on and working towards. And if anybody would like to talk about that more, you guys can reach me through any platform on social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, and not YouTube. What's it called? TikTok. TikTok. Sorry, I'm getting them all mixed up. There's like 1,000 of them. No, and I would absolutely love to be your mentor, to be your coach, and helping you on your athletic journey.
Awesome. Was there any desire to coach in high school, like a high school team, head coach, assistant coach?
As wonderful as that is, and as oh my goodness, and as much as I loved it and really learned so much about myself as a coach at that level, I really don't. I really don't feel like it's my place to be tied down to just one team and just one group of girls. You know, I really feel like I'm having a lot more to offer nowadays, after all the things that I've been through. I feel like there's more to offer, and that's why I really would like to expand beyond softball, you know, beyond softball, beyond just girls. You know, I'm having so much fun mentoring my boys. I'm telling you, they're a different breed, and it's amazing to me too how boys really need a softer side on in their sports journey. You know, all they have all day long is that rough, tough hardness, you know, from men, which they need. But I've seen how it is benefiting these boys to kind of get a little bit of a softer perspective, from more of like a mother figure almost, you know, and how that balance really helps their, like I said, mental, spiritual, and emotional being.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Um, well, this has been so much fun catching up and learning about the history 20 years ago
Yeah.
through Crowley and UT. Keep doing all the wonderful things you're doing. Keep fighting the good fight. I know everyone needs a Meagan White type in their life because
Oh,
you bring a lot of good things to a
thank
lot of
you.
people. So thanks so much, Megan, and I'm sure I'm going to see you at a couple of softball games here pretty soon.
100%. I'll be seeing you out there.
That's Meagan White. Again, her book, Fight Like Coach White, it's available at Amazon.com. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brian Gossett. This is another episode of Game Time with the Goss, and we'll see you next time.